Yes, people. What's going on? It's the KDG on EGTV, and today we got the Arsenal podcast back up and running. You guys already know what it's called. It's called the Invincible 5, and I got four wonderful guests to jump on the channel. Today we're going to be talking about Gabriel Magalhaes potentially signing a new contract after having a masterclass versus Liverpool. Obviously, Liverpool fans are very salty after we beat them, and they're blaming the referees for the reason why they lost this game. We're going to be talking about Aubameyang's video. We're going to be talking about potential title challenge, and there is an ongoing FA investigation. All this plus more on EGTV. But first, we got to introduce the guests. We got Gunner Souls in the house. How you doing, Gunner Souls? Yo, you're on mute.
They had all them clips ready to go. You know how much chest I showed? Yeah, man, I'm buzzing. I'm still not over it, you know. I'm still buzzing.
There you go. We got Nigerian Englishman in the house. How you doing, Kunle?
Oh yeah, now my people, it's your dark-skinned man from the motherland. If you didn't know before, tonight you go understand. Big up the panel. Big up my guy Gunner Souls, man. He gassed me up yesterday, bro. Big him up, man.
We got Curran in the house. Curran, how you doing, bro? Always lovely to have you on.
It's been a while, man. Good to see you. Good to see everyone. We're all a bit more relaxed. Let's put it that way after this performance. So let's just have some fun and enjoy let's just enjoy what we have so far.
African Gunner in the house. OG on the channel. Been here from literally less than 100 subs. My guy, how you doing?
Good, man. Been really busy at work, but obviously after yesterday's win, had to make some time to get it all out because first thing I walked into the office this morning and Liverpool fans were salty, just blaming refs and stuff. I mean, it's beautiful to be an Arsenal fan right now, so I'm really excited to get into it with you guys.
You know what? Today's show is gonna kind of be a show where we see where it goes. We're not gonna restrict it down to just the topic. So anything you guys also want to bring up, please do bring it up if you think it's relative to the topic. But first, let's begin with the Liverpool game. Who wants to?
I just want to say one thing real quick. Big up my dad. He's a Liverpool fan and he's not talking to man today. So big up dad. Like no hard feelings. We just had to do our thing. You've enjoyed plenty over the last few years, where it was our time to shine. But what? Yeah, you guys can start wherever from there. But
there you go. Shout out to the Liverpool fans that I know that have been chatting a lot of shit over the last couple of years. I think this is the humbling that they deserve.
They deserve
it. You know what? I'm gonna begin with Curran. Curran, I seen you tweet out something about the shape of the two teams and just shows how organized we were and how unorganized they were. Maybe you can go into that and just tell me what you thought about the game because we haven't heard from you in a minute.
Yeah, so basically we started, obviously the goal was change the game completely because games change as to the situation of the game. So the goal really kind of put them on the back foot. They kind of weren't really on it in terms of playing out from the back. Their press, our press, put them in a chokehold basically. And it was very interesting to see how we could just go man to man with their press with their back three because they build up in a three with Trent and the two centre backs. So we would just have Odegaard, Saka, and Martinelli go man for man. I mean, Odegaard would drop into into midfield a bit more, and then Jesus would also come in and attack the goalkeeper. So they were kind of always on kind of skates. So it was really good to see how aggressive we were, and we weren't scared of the occasion. And then the shape of their team kind of evolved as they kind of got Thiago into space, and then we kind of had to counteract that by moving Odegaard a bit more wide to deal with his threat because Thiago was popping into spaces, and then second half changes, and there's a lot of different changes, a lot of different tactical tweaks. But Mikel was very, very brave this game because he didn't change at halftime. And going into halftime, we were kind of, I tweeted that there was a lot of
he did make one thing.
But the point I'm trying to make is he didn't change the overall shape of the team, but he changed us tactically in terms of who is going to be more aggressive onto Thiago. He made sure that Xhaka was more aggressive on Henderson, and then made sure that Odegaard and Saka double teamed on Thiago to kind of isolate him a bit more so he could regain control the game a lot more. So some very interesting tactical things. Yeah, go on.
So what I enjoyed the most about what Arteta did, which I missed when I saw the lineup, I was quite upset not to see Tierney in the starting lineup originally. Although I could kind of get the idea of maybe he just wants to unleash Martinelli on Trent and he not to have to worry too much defensively. So I thought, but I didn't even look at the fact that, Salah likes to cut in on his left. So having Tomiyasu there is he's going to lock him up. And we're still looking for Salah, bro.
But the thing is, what happened with Salah was basically, usually what happens with Liverpool is they like to drag Salah in and then Henderson will overlap on the outside, or he'll combine with Trent in the middle and then run into the box. But what we did was, as you mentioned, he basically doesn't allow Tomiyasu's predominantly right-footed, but pretty ambidextrous, so he could use both feet. But the problem is that when he came inside, he was coming on to Tomiyasu's strong foot, so he was allowing basically playing into Tomiyasu's hands and allowing him to basically get the rip the ball back and play it up the pitch. I thought when I first saw the lineup, I was thinking, like, I love Zinchenko, but I'm glad he wasn't playing this game. I think this was a perfect environment for a Tierney or a Tomiyasu. I was hoping for Tierney. I mean, I wrote about it before the game and said I'd like Tierney, but I was very happy with Tomiyasu because what happens is especially when they get into their final third rotations, they like to hit from like basically either side of the box. They like to hit crosses. So especially with Nunez, it gives you an extra aerial threat in the box with Tomiyasu because he's so good in the air. So if they try to cross from either side, it gives them basically an extra person in the box that can handle the crosses. So yeah, a very good tactical decision from Mikel to get Tomiyasu in, and it shows that we have defenders that can. Our back line is kind of full of Swiss Army knives. So we have Ben White who can play 2 positions. We have Tomiyasu who can play 4 positions. Saliba can play both centre back positions, and we have a lot in that back line. I mean, we've seen Tierney playing a back 3 before, so there's a lot of different things we can do. So very, very interesting. Some of the tactical things we've seen this game.
Let me just say this: shout out to everyone in the chat. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. I don't know what that noise is, but it's cool. We got Osman in the house saying Egal will have no eye test. I don't know what Terry's talking about, bro. Forget about it. It's cool. Just
Terry's an Arsenal fan these days.
We'll clarify that another day. Ethan saying big up. Em is saying big up the channel. Blaze is saying big up the channel. We got John in the house saying big up Egal. Big up to you, man. Let's get this show started. Continue to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and let me know whatever questions or comments you guys want us to talk about during the stream, and we'll try to touch on it. Let's go to African Gunner. African Gunner, how you feeling?
Dude, I'm feeling amazing. I mean, I was confident that we would win, but I wasn't so confident that we would dominate. I thought we would score on the counter. I was a bit nervous about how many goals we could score and how many we would concede. And obviously, I think, Gabriel making a mistake again could have definitely done a little bit better for me. But overall, I think we dominated that game. I don't think it had anything to do with the refereeing decision. I think it was definitely a penalty. I think we could have scored multiple more goals. I mean, Odegaard could have done better. We had a couple other chances as well. So yeah, I mean, for me, it was just, I don't remember the last time we've beaten Liverpool for me. So this was like one of the biggest wins for me as an Arsenal fan, right? And going, just walking around, I'm just seeing more Arsenal fans everywhere I go. It's phenomenal. So everyone's talking about Arsenal. Everyone's jealous about Arsenal because the truth is that we're back. We have the team that we have now. We're maybe 2 or 3 players short. We have to buy someone in January to cover Xhaka's position. Maybe buy another winger.
Partey's position.
I don't think we're going to win. I don't think we're going to win the league. I want us to continue challenging and winning games as much as possible because ultimately I know Man City's just better than us realistically, I think, even for next season. So for me, it's just try to ride the wave as long as possible and probably go for 2nd or 3rd place because I don't see Liverpool coming back. And I think it's going to be between Spurs and probably Chelsea for 2nd and 3rd place. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
You know what? I think Gunner Souls has been screaming this. We're back for a minute. Kunle, I don't know if he's been there yet. But yeah, let's go to Gunner Souls. How you feeling, bro?
Bro, I am finally feeling that relief. You know how much shit I know me and Curran have taken a lot of shit, and obviously you on the terrace. I don't know about the other 2 because I've not really, but finally, Because people, you know what? Like last year when we played Man City and they beat us, I actually said, 2 seasons ago, I said we are the BTEC City. I started this, by the way, and I'm going to claim it because I said this so long ago. The terrorists actually retweeted it, and so many people got on my back because I said, fundamentally, we have a lot of similarities, but we're very different. And the one big difference is we need to start getting attacking fullbacks. But now we're seeing that within our defensive fullbacks first. Ben White yesterday was phenomenal. I don't know where that came from. Like, he got into so many good positions. If we had a little bit more urgency, and this isn't a dig at the attackers, but just to get into that 6-yard box, some of his cutbacks would have gone in. So, you know, Tomiyasu...
Even against Spurs as well, it was good.
Yeah, phenomenal. Like, we're starting to now see, and I've said it, you're coming to the Arteta era. Do not mistake it. This is the future. And I said it from the beginning. I back this man because I can see what he wants to do. He just doesn't have the players. And now we're seeing it. Now people have said it this season. This is his team. And you're seeing the football we're playing. Name me one win we had where you didn't think we were dominant. We've destroyed every win. There's not one win.
And we dominated United as well. So I'll count that one as well.
But you know what it is, though? You're going to lose. Everyone loses. Man City in their dominance lose. Everyone, it happens. So
except
every
Invincibles,
win,
but
every win. And I said it all week long. I was like, we're fucking beating them. I have no doubt in any part of my body that they're gonna win. And you know, Kunle knows this because I was hyping him up the whole day. I had no doubt. I said we will beat you. And I said this is going to be the mantle passing from Klopp to Arteta, and we're seeing it. I said Martinelli will cook Trent. I'm so disappointed he got injured. I wanted his career ended. I wanted him to be destroyed. The whole narrative that he can't defend, just accept it. He can't defend. He's brilliant at what he does. Accept it. It doesn't mean he's a bad player because he can't do that the half of his game. You know he was protected by Henderson, and every time he covered for him. But the thing is, they're so deluded and wrapped up into this. I'm not even going to call it a successful Klopp era. He won one league. All right, he won a Champions League. It was a good tenure. That's a typical Chelsea manager tenure. They do that in a season. So I'm not going to give it to them. I don't care. They want to be salty. I'm going to be even more salty. You're welcome to the Arteta era. I don't care. Welcome.
But look, you know what, yeah?
We're going to get there.
You know what?
Go ahead, Kunle.
Like, I won't lie. I remember I did the stream with Never a Foul in the morning. And I was saying, at the start of the stream, I was like, we're going to lose. Look, I'll be honest with you. Even though I was confident that we're doing well this season, the Liverpool thing is just a mentality thing to me. I was nervous about it. They've collected 6 points against us so many times. So I was nervous. But towards the end of the stream, I saw my chest hyping up a little bit. And then I looked at my WhatsApp as I was on the way to the Tunnel TV studio, and Good of Souls is hyping man up. And I was like, you know what? We can win this, you know. And obviously, Martinelli does what Martinelli's been doing all season, lighting up the stadium. And that boy, like, I remember in the summer, me and I think we spoke about him, and I said that we needed someone to push him a little bit more so he could get to the next level because he wasn't that good creatively. He's been watching EGTV, obviously, and you saw that clip, and he switched it up. Set pieces, crosses, assists, goals. The guy is super clinical, and for me, man of the match, and he's just going to keep pushing on. And him and Saka were immense yesterday. Obviously, Tomiyasu did his thing. And the thing I loved about the game yesterday the most is it was such an un-Arsenal-like win. Let's be honest, because we gave them the ball.
The narrative that
we gave them the ball
back 3 times.
Yeah, Saka is not a big game player. Fuck off now.
But no one said that. No one can tell me that.
People say it, bro.
Nobody can tell me that. Every top 6 side he scored against.
Exactly,
every top
but
6
they don't accept it, but now they will. Now they will. Do you know what the best thing about that game was? How Saka grabbed that ball for the penalty.
Biggest balls in the stadium.
Yeah, I wanted
biggest balls in the stadium.
No.
Biggest balls in the stadium. Bro.
You know what? That's when you know there's a mentality shift and a culture shift that we spoke about. When players like Saka, after everything he's been through, just goes and grabs that ball and goes, this is me, bro. This is my time. Yeah.
My club.
I love it, man. I'm fucking loving it. And then I can't get onto Martinelli yet, but what he said as well.
Yeah.
You're on mute.
You're muted, Egal.
I did that on purpose. I'm joking. Anyways, let's get this show started again, because I feel like we've been talking about the game. I feel like you guys want to get some performances off your chest. Who impressed you guys the most? Because in my opinion, I knew Martinelli was ripping people all season.
Yeah,
but I didn't think he was gonna take Trent to this level. I was joking about it the whole build up to the game. I was tweeting about pictures about Martinelli versus Trent the whole time. This was a matchup I was looking forward to, but I didn't think it was gonna end up this bad for Trent, to the point where he was so late to a cross that it ended up getting him injured. Like, I don't know about you guys, but Martinelli right now is playing like one of the best left wingers in this league, and that's not even an overstatement.
Yeah, no, from the moment I saw him, I knew that he was going to be a star boy. I mean, I was one of those fans that was really upset when Arteta wasn't playing him, because I knew he was ready. Because, I could see it in him. He reminded me of Alexis Sanchez. I think he's definitely been coached by Arteta now. You can see he's put on some, muscle. He's tactically making better runs, playing way smarter. And I think we're underplaying the role that Gabriel Jesus has brought, right? I mean, he's just so dynamic that it's unlocked so much of Martinelli. And I mean, the intuition between the two, it's, when Ozil and Sanchez play together, you just have that ability to think on a different wavelength that other people aren't. And you see that on the field. And that's given us that X factor, which we didn't have in the past 3-4 seasons. So for me, I've seen Martinelli. I mean, I knew he was going to be a superstar. But for me, I want to call out Granit Xhaka, because I've been a massive hater of him. And this season, I've seen a completely different player. Like, I don't understand where this guy has been. It doesn't erase the past of how much hurt he's caused me, because I can't forget that. Like, honestly, this guy has caused a lot of pain, but he's playing really well right now, and I have to give him credit. Like, there's a lot of times where I think he's going to make a tackle. He doesn't make a tackle. He did get a yellow card in the Europe on Thursday, which was really silly. But that's one of the only mistakes he's made in the past 8-9 games. So I have to give him his props. He's looking great. Almost scored a couple of really amazing goals, doing some really cool skills that I've never seen. I swear to God, where has this guy been? So he needs to.
Bro, he nearly scored a volley, man.
No, I'm impressed, right? And if he continues to do this with Partey playing the way he is, like, this is a top 4, or Premier League title contending midfield with Odegaard or Vieira in there, right? So yeah, I'm really proud of them.
Saka impressed. You guys don't understand how big of a deal this is. Karan, what about you? Who impressed you the most?
The most? I mean, it's hard, because the thing is it wasn't one of those games where it was one person that changed everything. It was the collective that changed, and that's why I'd actually give it to Mikel, because Mikel was the one who made the changes at halftime. He actually made the changes at the correct time in the second half as well. So, like, especially in that final seconds, when, like, bringing on Vieira, bringing on Nketiah at the right times, everything that he did yesterday really actually just worked. And he backed his guys, he backed his plan to make sure that he wasn't someone. He didn't go to do what Klopp did and, like, change the system after 60 minutes and sort of try and big brain the game and try and win it by some kind of mad method like he did at Man United. So I think he improved a lot. So I think
that's a massive point there, Karen. That's a massive point there. He wasn't as naive as he was in the United game, and he never panicked. He literally managed the game fully. Like, Klopp was bringing on defenders and stuff.
You can't compare when we're losing and chasing a game to when we're leading.
No, but we're talking about being naive in general. It's being naive in general, because when they equalised to go 2-2, he could have done something. It was unlucky.
He was going for the game. He was going for the game, and 2 minutes later they scored. It's just unlucky. But he wanted to win the game. He wasn't being defensive like Klopp was.
He was naive.
Like
he was naive. African
when they took off their star players.
I disagree. He was naive against United.
I don't think it was. I think it was a gamble that didn't pay off.
Yeah, exactly.
No, but it was a gamble that never needed to happen. That's what I'm saying.
No, he did, because he wanted to win the game.
Yeah, but there was 30 minutes left in the game. Why are you going like this last 5 minutes?
I get he didn't have to do them all at the same time, but those are the type, like, the 3 subs are the ones I would have made periodically to win the game.
Okay, let me just say this. I want to know who Gunnar Solskjaer's guy is. Gunnar Solskjaer, who's your guy?
The most disrespected player last season, Benny Blanco.
Benjamin
White. I'm not going to lie. I'm not saying everyone disrespect him, but a large part of what I've seen on Twitter and, like, from the Arsenal fan base, People are like, this guy can't defend, this guy can't do this guy can't do this guy can't do that. Man's locked off every tricky winger so far he's come across. Zaha locked him off. You know, he came across Luis Diaz, locked him off. He had to come off as well. I know he got injured, but man wanted to come off. He was like, fuck this, I can't be arsed. I can't get past this guy. I want off. Same with Trent. So, and also his overlapping runs, people were like, he doesn't help out Saka. He doesn't do anything for Saka. Are you now doubting him? The guy is phenomenal. He is an absolute bargain. And I can't believe I'm saying that about a £50 million player. He is a fucking steal. He is genuinely, every time I watch this play, I'm like, you know what? You're stone cold. You don't give a shit what the occasion is. And that's why we're doing so well, because these players don't care. Bring on him. And did you see his post-match? He was like, yeah, he knows the threat Liverpool bring. He understands it, but he's not scared. He's like, bring it. I'm not playing where I want to play, but you can bring it on. I'll take anyone on. So
just a point on that, I think he probably is the best utility player we've had. I mean, up there, above Chamberlain, above Maitland-Niles. I mean, and we'll see Zinchenko probably as well compete for that, which is going to be amazing. But yeah, Ben White's been incredible.
You're an Englishman? You got anybody different that we haven't?
I would say I would have probably mentioned Martinelli, but I got to give a special shout out to Saka because, to be fair, the balls of the kid. I mean, everyone's always on his back, like he's not playing at a standard, but yet he's involved in this goal, that goal, next goals. He's always involved. Like, even though he might be not playing at the top of his level, which is scary, he's still not playing at the top of his level. And look at his numbers. He came on, and all those fans that dissed him for missing a penalty for England, they know about him at Chelsea, they know about him at United, and now they know about him at Liverpool. Not only did he bang in a goal, he also banged in a penalty. So Saka, that's my guy, star boy, future of this club. Trust me.
Boom. Okay, so now we got to get onto the tiers. The way we're gonna do this, we're gonna break it down. Actually, forget about the tiers for a second. Let's just get onto something more positive. Did you guys hear about the news about Gabriel Martinelli? Gabriel Martinelli. Reports coming out that Gabriel Martinelli could be set to sign a new contract. Now, this is massive in the sense that not only because he's set to sign a new contract, but this is a guy who I seemed like at moments he had his head turned. Fabrizio Romano and some of the top journalists taking quotes from what he said to Ars Blog, I think, or Gunner Blog. I think it was Gunner Blog. But yeah, so he's saying Gabriel Martinelli announced his plans. Gabriel Martinelli announced his plans on his future. I want to stay at Arsenal, of course. We are talking about a new deal, and let's see what is going to happen. But I want to stay at Arsenal, of course. And he also spoke about another article where he was speaking about that he's playing his best ever football in his career. He's happy. And of course, that he wants to stay at Arsenal. This was from Charles Watts. Let me show you. So Charles Watts, of course, I want to stay. This is my best season. I'm happy. This is Gabriel Martinelli speaking after yesterday's game about his contract situation. And I think there was one more. Yeah, here it is. Gabriel Martinelli is ready to sign a new contract as reported by the Evening Standard. So all these reports coming out coincidentally after a win. Guys, after a game, we're getting good news. What's going on? Everything's
looking up for us, bro. Now, But you know what? This whole Martinelli thing, I love it because I remember when Martinelli was in the side and everyone was saying he should be playing more, Then Arteta kept him out of the side. And I was probably one, just like a few people on the panel saying he should be playing more. And I didn't understand it. But whenever he used to play, he used to get little knocks. And every time he used to be scared when he fell on the floor. But now he plays regularly. We're never scared when he gets on the floor because he's running back up. He's stronger. He's challenging more. He's doing a lot more. And you can see the reason why Arteta protected him for a little bit. And we always talk about how well he did with the wingers at City, like Sane and Sterling, and when is he going to do it at Arsenal? But it's clear to see that this guy has developed Martinelli. There's no doubt about that. His game has changed since Arteta got there. Same as Saka. He's doing the same thing with him. So the way that Martinelli's progressing, I'm not surprised. And I was never in doubt that this guy wanted to stay at the club. He clearly is an Arsenal boy. He loves us, man. And we all love him, man. He's doing big bits. I'm excited, man.
What about you, Gunnar Souls?
These players are going to leave when we want them to leave. They're not going to leave. I'm telling you, because you know what it is? We are a winning culture. We are a winning club, top to bottom now. This ain't the same old Arsenal. I'm telling you, this is different. Martinelli was always going to stay. Saka will sign. You know, who else is there? And I think that ESR will sign. They're all going to stay, bro. They want lifetime contracts. Who doesn't want to be a part of this future that's growing? Come on now, man. And also, like they all credit Arteta with their development and call him a top coach, call him a genius, call him every name under the sun, regardless of when it was good and bad. They know this is the right place to be. Saka, I'm going to say it now, will be one of the players to get a statue outside that stadium. And he could arguably become the first Emirates legend. He will guide us to a league win. And I'm going to say it now. And it's going to be alongside Martinelli because these two, you know, Klopp, Peps, they have watched too much football. They have coached too many top players to sit there and call him the talent of the century. Do you know how big that is? I don't think people just make it as a passing comment. It's not. These men have watched way too much football, played with too many good players just to make that as a passive comment. These guys know that they're the real deal. And we're seeing it. And these guys want to stay because they're loved. They know this is the club that, you know what, if they go and get us a league win, they are getting that. I'm telling you now, one league win, they can get a statue. Because these guys are cult heroes already. So
I swear down, if I'm ever down as an Arsenal fan, I'm calling you Gouda Souls, man. Straight up, bro. Gas me up all over again, man. I'm there.
I'm telling you.
It's there. Bro, the worst, bro. They get me gas.
Just remember, guys, that in the summer, The Athletic reported Saka was close to his contract. Arsenal just released yesterday, not yesterday, a couple of days ago, a massive article from Saliba as well. You don't do that if a deal isn't closed. And now we're getting Martinelli, his deal is closed. So it's not panic stations anymore. I mean, we had years of people asking what's happening with Saliba, what's happening with this, what's happening with that, why we're letting players like David Luiz go, or why are we signing guys that don't need to be here, why is Cedric still here, blah, 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 blah. But now we're signing contracts for people on the come up. We're not signing people for contracts at the peak when they can just go down. We're signing on the come up. So you're looking at people, for example, Martinelli, you're offering a 5-year contract for someone who's 21 years old. You're getting most of his development and you're hitting his peak before he signs yet another deal. So we're not looking at a player that is sort of entering their prime. We're talking about a developmental talent here. This is someone who's yet to his peak. And if you look at his game, like Gunnar Solskjaer, you were mentioning about how Arteta has changed his game. Remember, Martinelli was a striker when Arteta came, and I still think that even now he does take up striker positions. Like for example, especially on that left side of the box, he loves those out to in runs where you could just slip behind a Trent, for example, and sort of just put it in the back of the net. He loves doing that. But
I still think he ends up a striker though, currently.
I still think he does. I think he does as well. But what you see with the wingers here, what Arteta has done is they have. If you look, I challenge anyone right now. Go on SofaScore and look at the heat maps for Saka and for Martinelli, and they're pretty much just the same, but on the opposite sides. Like Martinelli and Saka, they have heat zones by the center line. On the sides, and then they have heat zones. Martinelli's a bit more inside because he's more of the attacking box threat, as it were, and Saka's a bit wider as he likes to do that. He likes to be a bit more 1v1, come inside and hit. But the zones are very similar, and if you look at the zones for all our team, they're very sort of like line up to cover the entire pitch because we have very set roles and very set. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
You're spot on, bro. I'm looking at this right now. You look at Martinelli. That's him this season. He's predominantly been on that left side, very, very much so strong on that left side. And then you look at Saka. Saka's been the exact opposite, but just a little bit deeper with his heat map.
Yeah. So if you look at it, if you go back to the Martinelli one, it shows that he's a bit more inside, whereas Saka's a bit more outside, and it kind of lines up because we like to do basically run our progression through Saka and Ødegaard, and then Saka will go on. And then you'll have basically, exactly. So Saka will receive a bit deeper, come on in. Like you see that at the edge, that one red mark from Saka, he comes in he likes to progress the ball. Whereas with Martinelli, it's a bit more. You see the red zones inside the box. There's a lot more. So,
and he also takes a lot of corners, so he's going to be more.
Yeah, they both do. They both take the corners for us. Like Martinelli and Saka, they both do the in-swinging corners. So, like the team lines up very well because the roles are very defined. Because Martinelli is the more aggressive box threat, whereas Saka is more the progression threat, where he's someone who can collect deep, run with the ball, combine with Odegaard, and combine with White. So, yeah, the team is not just worked out in terms of development of the players' talents themselves. They've developed them so they're in a way that they fit together in a way that's sustainable for a long period of time. And that's why you look at the guys like other rival fans talking about, oh, this isn't sustainable football. No, it's very sustainable. It's very, very sustainable. Every roles are clearly defined. Even the ones that the backup roles that come in, their roles are very clearly defined. Like you look at Fabio Vieira, for example, his role, even though he's more aggressive than Odegaard, his role is very much similar to Martin Odegaard. So you look at how we can regenerate this team as the years go on. It's very, very sustainable, and it's very aggressive in terms of how we coach this team. So, yeah.
You know what, guys? Just for the sake of this whole thing, let's be honest. Martinelli, Saka, Saliba, all of them, if they're all signing, we're setting our future for the rest of 6-7 years.
5 years.
Let's say five.
Okay. Hypothetically, we give them a 5 year. Say we give them we get a new contract on them, all of them, and we're still strengthening our squad by bringing in more wingers, more everything else. I'm looking at their contracts plus us refreshing our squad. We could be looking at sustained success going forward because of their age.
That's what I was saying to people. You know, when they said about the whole young squad thing, I said, you know how much easier it is to refresh? Because let's say, for example, for argument's sake, right, one of these drops off at 25, you've still got enough on their contract to be able to sell them for big money. But you know what the opposite effect is? Yeah, you know what the other side of the effect is? When they come to, let's say, 28, 29, you can then start bringing your replacements in. You've already got them in, developing and playing the way you want them to. You've got the time to loan them out, play in the youth team, start developing that DNA. And top to bottom, one of the biggest credits to everything is Per Mertesacker. The way he's transformed our academy and actually made relationships with certain teams for certain player development and the style that he wants that striker or that player to play. Like, for example, Balogun going to Rems is a deliberate move. Yeah, Rems is a deliberate move. Like, for example, Miguel Aziz going to was it Portsmouth? Was a very
Ibiza. He's in Ibiza now. So
you know what?
I was
going to talk about loan
season
players
before his Portsmouth.
Yeah. I'm going to talk about loan players at the end. But if you want to talk about them, we can also talk about Patino playing, Auston Trusty grabbing a brace. You got Nicolas Pepe.
Trusty,
yeah. Auston Trusty scored 2 goals for Birmingham City. So
that's what I'm saying. The development protocols are so deliberate. They are so deliberate because there's certain what they're doing now is they're looking at the player, they're looking at what they want that player to become and what's the best destination to send them to. Because there's certain teams that develop players in a certain way, and that's what we're starting to do, and we're starting to see that development. Look at Saliba, for example. Very deliberate why we wanted him to go to certain teams and we accepted certain loan moves is because we wanted him to have that home comfort but develop. And now look at the players become. The same with Balogun. Balogun has now become, in my opinion, 10 times smarter than I've seen him in the Arsenal first team. The runs he's making, the positions he's taking up. Granted,
he's doing everything, bro. He's doing everything in that league.
Even against PSG, right? Like, he didn't score or he didn't get an assist, but you should have seen the positions he was taking up. If he was in this Arsenal team doing that, Lord have mercy, bro. He would be on double figures. And that's the difference now. We're starting to see calculated moves from top to bottom, and we can just recycle, refresh, and just keep going.
Okay, let me just go to African Gunner before we move on. I'm just going to say the loan army thing, I don't want to spend too much time on it. Charlie Patino's doing okay. He just came back from injury, I think. You got Auston Trusty on loan. I heard Pablo Mari was even doing good. I'm surprised with that.
Does anyone care?
Yeah,
the only one before we do move on, the only one I wanted to mention was Brook, because Brook is in the last, I think 8 games, he's got like 6 man of the match awards in the championship.
Yeah.
He's been killing it for them. So he's people worry about him because they think we need a right back. Is he ready? He's more than ready. He'll be fine. He'll come back next year very, 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 very good. So
yeah, I'm excited about him.
African Gunner, you gotta go, but I'm just gonna ask you. There's a couple more topics. Which one do you want to speak about the most before you go? Arsenal title challenge, Aubameyang's video, or salty Liverpool fans?
The first one, Arsenal's title challenge.
Okay, so what do you got to say about that?
Yeah, I think I already said it. Look, I'm enjoying the ride. I would definitely, exceeding expectations. I'm loving, I'm loving the passion. Obviously, so much enthusiasm about the team. I think it's only going to get better from here unless we get some crazy injuries, which hopefully we don't. I'm looking at third place realistically. Second would be great, but third is realistic for me right now. And I think we mentioned the recycling of the team, right? I think Europa League, we're going to recycle. It's going to keep the competitiveness of the squad for those that want to play in the Premier League. And therefore, I think even if we get some injuries, we should be okay. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to the next game against Leeds because I think we'll probably win 3-0.
Bang. Okay. And then, bro, appreciate you coming on every time, bro. Big up.
Thanks, man.
Hopefully you have a great day. And yeah, hopefully we win the rest of the games until the World Cup because I think we can technically do that.
That'll be lit.
Or at least.
Cheers, guys.
Peace out, bro.
See you later.
Kunle, I'm going to come to you. Title challenge. You believe in?
Nah. I'm not hearing that, bro. I'm not hearing none of that. They're not going to hoax me in on that title challenge stuff. I think we're a few players short for that. City have a man made in a lab as their striker, so it's kind of unfair right now, but they're doing mad things. So I'm not going to talk about the title, but I think we'll give it a good showing of ourselves as a club with progression this season. I think we should comfortably get into the Champions League. I was saying top 4 at the start of the season, but with the start we're having and looking what's going on elsewhere in the league, we should at least finish 3rd with this team. A lot depends on if we lose like a Jesus, then I'm a bit worried, or Partey or Saliba, then we might have to ask some questions of the squad. But as long as there's no long-term injuries, we should be okay, at least till January, and then we go again. Hopefully we get 1, maybe 2 in January, which we've never done. But it'll be great for that to happen. But title challenge, at least a season too early to talk about that.
Okay, and Kunle, big up to you also. I think you got to go also have yourself one from that, bro.
Thanks.
I think Curran and Souls, we kind of already spoke about the title challenge thing, but I know what Gunnar Souls is thinking, but I don't know what you're thinking, Curran. What are you thinking on the whole title challenge?
Look, if we look at any title race, look at any indication for where players finish in the league, you don't really look at it until halfway through. It's not even a case of like, even last year, we always said at the beginning of the season when we had those 3 games, look at the table after 10 games and then look at the table halfway through. We're almost at 10 games, so then you could sort of see like who is definitely not going to be there. People like Liverpool, for example. But there's teams that are in contention, and then halfway through you can go, okay, this is a situation. Everyone's played each other once. Where can we go from here and see what we can do? And if we have a chance, maybe as Kunle mentioned, you can get another player in that could really advance the project a bit further up the line than we anticipated. But I am looking at Leeds. I'm looking at Bodo Glimt. Those are the games that we need to be focused on. I'm sure those are the games that Mikel is focused on. Bodo in the midweek, they're playing on Ashraf turf in the middle of nowhere. So either that will be a fun trip, and as we saw last week, they're no joke. They're not. I'd rather play Leeds than them. I'll be honest. Like they were very good. They were very well drilled. So I'm very, very, very interested to see what happens with that game. I'm actually really looking forward to it. So yeah.
Let me just read this comment. Big up Osman Ali, bro. Even though you make fun of me a lot on the terrace, you're a nice guy, probably. He says, rival fans pushing the title talk crap. We Gunners know City have secured it. We don't know they've secured it yet. We're just saying.
But all I'm going to say, let me just say one thing, Egal. We've known over the years what has happened to Erling Haaland in terms of injuries. Nothing is secured. Okay, there's not a big chance. I don't think we can do it personally. At this moment in time, there's no evidence to suggest we can maintain it. But you don't know what it happens with them as well. Defensive, like I feel like they've improved with Haaland so much, but they've lost players around that squad. They've seen that defense, Ake and Akanji, that can be got at. So let's not count us out completely. But at this moment in time, look, they have him, and look, they're not gonna lose at Anfield. I don't reckon. They probably will win if they don't get a draw. So let's see.
You make a good point, because KDB and Haaland can get injured. And you know what it is for me? My opinion is this. I want the players to believe they're in one. I want them to believe that they're in a title challenge, because at least it'll give them something to not become complacent. And also just be in and around that, because you never know if they slip up. It's a World Cup season. It's very weird. It's in the winter. And Erling Haaland, KDB do get injuries around the season. City do drop points. Obviously, we've shown less evidence that we can go on to winning a title, but they're a freak. You know how many? Do you know, to be a title challenger, you need to have 95 points. Like, I don't think we're going to do that well. So the reality is, I don't think we will, but I want them to believe we will.
Okay. Big up to everyone in the chat. Fans get carried away. That's just fans. But I know Mikel Arteta and the team are now focused on the next game, which is full confidence in this team. Yeah, 100%. You just take it game by game. But let's just move away quickly from Arteta and everything, and let's just go away from the game for a second. We'll come back to the game in a second. Did you see this video, guys? Let me just play it for you.
To manage like big characters or big players, he can't deal with it.
Doesn't have good people skills.
He needs some young players. They don't say anything. They listen.
Yeah, the young ones. Yeah. But he's the one that had a problem with Ozil, right? As well.
Exactly.
Yeah. So Ozil was on the bench for how long? A year.
Yeah.
And they're paying him big money.
Who do you think out of these young players?
So that video was from Aubameyang, and he now has come back with a response. This is what he said. Aware of Aubameyang's response to the video being leaked, he said he was aware that the video was out and was recorded just after arriving at Barcelona. At that time, there was a lot of bad feelings in me, and Arsenal are doing great things this season. I wish my old guys well, just not on November 6th. I'm fully focused on tomorrow. And then he puts a blue dot. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. There's no apology. He disrespected his former teammates by calling them yes men and just young players that are yes men. And he's also made fun of his former manager. But you know what? He's responded by saying, I was at a bad place. This was recorded a long time ago. And he wishes his former teammates well, and that he understands that they're doing good. So I kind of feel like it's a half apology, but it's not really a real
It's not an apology. It's not an apology. Let's be honest. It's not. Nowhere in there is there any regret. It's just, it happened a long time ago. Move past it.
Just explain why it happened.
Yeah. Look, the main thing with this video is, it's not even about all or nothing. If you look at how it left, he just turned up in Barcelona. He just turned up there, like he didn't, and he wants to call people having bad people skills. Your agents lied to Arsenal. You went to Barcelona without any indication that you would be going there. You were meant to be in training that day. So let's not act like you will have the most amazing people skills in the world. Look, we'll see him November 6th. I don't really care. You're wearing a Chelsea shirt on with an Arsenal tattoo. It is what it is. Like, it's not that big a deal. It's like, if he wants to feel bad about what happened, then maybe he should have turned up to training on time. Maybe he should have been a bit more responsible, and maybe he should have been the leader that people thought he was going to be when he signed that contract. Because on the pitch and off the pitch, he's shown over the past 18 months of the time of our time together at Arsenal, he wasn't doing that. And when the chips were down, he did not step up. I believed in Auba, and I still do believe in Auba. I think he's a great finisher. He can do good things in the box, and by all metrics, he's always said that he wanted the captaincy, and that's who he was. But the fact is that if you're going to blame young players for respecting their manager, you're the one who didn't turn up. You're the one that didn't lead, and you didn't provide. You see it after every goal now. Granite's in a huddle, telling the young players, telling everyone, "Let's we go again. Let's get it. Let's get another goal. Let's be compact. Let's not let this slip." Auba didn't do that, and there was a lot of pieces in that club before Mikel came. Your Ozils, who I love, like all these players, I love these players. Ozil, that guys like Pierre, and then you got the other guys like David Luiz and etc. Dani Ceballos. So like, there's a lot of players that were brought in and not understood what we're doing. So look, it is what it is, and I wish him all the best. We'll see you November 6th.
Okay, fair. Just before we go to Gunner Souls, we got some comments here. Say Hussein, shout out Hussein. He's always on TikTok sending roses. Appreciate it. He's saying Arsenal showed another style of play again in that Liverpool game. I think Arteta is a tactical genius and is underrated. This is football. Anything can happen. Shout out to you, Hussein. Someone else here, M, coming out saying Arsenal signed a DM and a winger in January, actually win the title.
Just one more thing, Egal, sorry, before I go to Solos. He said he couldn't manage big characters. He's taken Granit Xhaka from being booed at the Emirates and throwing away the captaincy to now being the most loved player at the Emirates. He's taken. No one said that Granit Xhaka is not a big character. He's a massive character. He's a leader, and he's someone that won't take any bullshit. He won Granit over. He made sure he stayed. He made him into the double pivot player that we saw was improving, and now we see him as this advanced 8 that is just is shattering things, perceptions that he had. He has over 30 shot creating actions this year. He has goals, assists. He's being great with winning second balls, leading the team. So look, it's bullshit. It's absolute bullshit.
Let me just get through some of these comments because I think they're adding some content to this. Aubameyang said it's an old video. That's it. It wasn't really an apology. You're right, 100%. Aubameyang's acting like they're gonna win in November 6th. We're gonna get slapped. Yeah, they're gonna get slapped. Someone here is saying talk with chess. Nobody knows the future. Trust in building over a season success. Flip flops. I'm human. It's birthright to be wrong and correct myself. This is. Are you a high school bully tactics? You know what? Allow those people. Shout out Hussein with the super chat all the way from, I think it's South Africa. Shout out to Hussein every single time. We got, he didn't even say anything. He just sent a super chat. Really do appreciate it. We got Aubameyang doing Pete. What? Who's that?
Peter Ademwingie. You know, the guy that turned up at the club.
The guy who showed up. He showed up at what club? What club was it?
West Brom.
West Brom. Blaze in the house all the way from France saying we need to move on from Aubameyang. Yeah, 100%. I like his the player and the person, but it's time to move on. Yeah, definitely agree. Granit Xhaka, Thomas Partey, Jesus, Zinchenko, all 25 plus. Aubameyang is talking shit. Osman challenged for the title. We take our players to the next level. We are trying to we try to succeed. Okay. VAR Arsenal. Cams, bro, you're an Arsenal fan, but you're saying you're giving the rivals what they want to hear. Forget that.
Anyway, who cares? Like, it doesn't matter. The situation's over, and look, we for once we actually got some decisions go away. So just embrace it.
Gunner Souls, since we spoke about Aubameyang yesterday, we're just gonna move on. But what did you think about his apology? Just quickly touch on it if you can.
I'll be honest, I respect it. At least he owned this shit. He knew. Look, the one thing I respect about people is when I don't want players to come out and apologize because you said it, and I know that's how you felt. But you know what? The worst thing is, I wanted him to apologize to those young players that bailed him out for 18 months. That's what hurt me the most. Because I was like, you act like this leader, you act like this character, but it just showed like a tainted side of your personality that everyone warned us about. Dortmund fans warned us that, you know what, this guy isn't this character that you think he is. And that to me is the most disappointing thing. Like, don't apologize to Arteta, don't apologize to the fans, but apologize to those young players that looked up to you. That's all I'm going to say on it. Like, cool. When it comes to November 6th, we're going to celebrate in your face. How about that one?
Okay. Moving on to refereeing decisions. We're gonna just go through this quickly, guys. Let me know what you guys are saying. Big up Hussam in the house every single time. He's just saying LOL. What's the context? What's the context? Egal, I'm embracing that VAR facts is on our side for once. Big up Husam every single time. Yeah, Curran's gonna drop out, bro. We're gonna end the stream just in like a couple minutes, anyways.
Yeah, cool.
End it
No worries.
But yeah, let's just go through this. This was a penalty all day long based on the fact that it hit his that he kicked his leg, and that was the leg that he was trying to control the ball with. Do you guys disagree?
No, of course it was a penalty. Like, I don't understand why when it's any, like when it's, for example, with the Chelsea decision last time that you've seen circulating around when Bellerin kicks I don't remember who it was, boot. That's an obvious penalty, but this isn't a penalty. Just have some consistency. It's a penalty. It's a foul. He doesn't make contact with the ball.
Okay. Gunnar Souls, you agree?
Yeah, there's nothing more to add to it.
You know what? People are saying, oh, he dives. He shouldn't have got that penalty. Well, did Thiago kick him? Yes, he did. Did Thiago stop him from controlling the ball by kicking his leg? Yes, he did. So I don't get the hoopla about this. It makes no sense.
It is what it is.
It makes no sense in my opinion. Next, we got the whole situation with Gabriel's handball. Now, did you guys see the video where it actually hit his chest?
The Hagen one, yeah.
Did you see the Jota one where the ball actually hit his chest? It didn't. It didn't just go off his arm. Now, I know when you look at the still image, you say to yourself, "Oh my God, this is a straight penalty." But if you watch the video, if you actually watch the video, you will see that it hit his chest prior to hitting his arm. And people are going to say, oh, why are you complaining? You complain about the Pepe thing. The Pepe thing was completely different. The Pepe thing, it hit the guy's arm straight in the box, but they said it was close proximity. So once again, I don't think there's anything to cry about here. Originally, when I did first see it, I thought it was a penalty. But now that I've seen that it actually hit his chest, I don't think it is.
Regardless of the rule change that happened this summer, where they actually brought the proximity rule in, would have disallowed that penalty anyway. So regardless of whether it hit his chest, his face, his arms, his bum, whatever, it still is proximity. So they wouldn't have been allowed to give that penalty due to that ruling. If you don't like it, it's not VAR's fault. It's not anything. It's the rule you don't like, not VAR.
No, but this still image makes it look bad. If you actually watch...
That's what I'm saying. Like, regardless. It doesn't matter.
I implore everyone to go watch the actual clip of it. Jota kicks the ball onto his chest, hence hits his arm. Hence, because it doesn't just hit his arm only, regardless if it was the old rule or this rule, it wouldn't be counted. Because if it hits your body and then it deflects onto your arm, it's a different situation. But in Europe, they might let that. They might actually.
Yeah. If that was like Thursday, that's a penalty.
Yeah. But yeah, we move on from that one and we get onto the ridiculousness. Did you guys see the Trent one? They are now trying to say Martinelli's cross.
Still image analysis. That's all it is.
I got the video for this one, but I can't actually play it. Martinelli's cross that he just delivered lands on Trent's late block cross. They're saying because Martinelli stomped on his foot after he crossed the ball, he should have been given a straight red.
All I'm gonna say, they're fucking idiots. I don't care. I want to hurt their feelings because how dense do you need to be to not understand football? Like the thing is, I get it. You're hurt that Arsenal are doing well. I get it, but this isn't even something to banter about. Someone actually got injured, but the thing is, it's a ball playing action. It's the follow through. Have you played football? You do know your foot is gonna follow through to something, and it's got to land somewhere. So. It's just unfortunate. That's all it is. It's not a foul. It's not a red card. It's nothing. It's just an unfortunate situation.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't particularly follow in himself. The momentum takes it with him.
Yeah.
It's like the Xhaka red card against Man City last year. It wasn't a red. It wasn't even a foul. He gets the ball and the follow through takes out Cancelo, and it's not like he goes in with both feet. He's going with one foot. That should have been a foul either.
They said it was because the intent, not even because it was nowhere near.
But this is the thing. This is everyone's trying to make sort of basically obfuscate the actual facts and be like, okay, this is the interpretation of the intent. It's like, how do you know what the intent was? Is there any clear indication? Why was Kane versus Liverpool not a red then? Where's the intent there? Like, it's just bullshit. Just let it go. It's done.
Okay, we're now gonna move on to the final thing. This incident between Henderson and Thing, and obviously, if you don't, I personally, I'm gonna take the stance that I'm gonna wait for more information. But let's just.
I think everyone should.
Yeah,
everyone should.
I'm gonna take that approach. But there are videos of Gabriel during the match. 1 second, let me just turn the audio off. There are videos of them going at it. You can see them going at it and people coming and breaking it apart. You can see Gabriel is quite upset about something. We don't know what was said. So at this moment in time, we're not going to do the court of public opinion and claim that we know what was said or anything like that. It could have been anything. There's been a lot of rumors going around that it could be something racial. There's rumors going around that it could have been something about Thomas Partey. There's rumors that it could be something more personal, just about the player himself. But then right now, I genuinely just think we should wait for more facts. Some of the facts that have come out, I'll tell you guys. That's Football reported that the Mail have said that that the Football Association have spoken with Arsenal defender, and the governing body are openly probing this conversation with Liverpool as skipper Jordan Henderson. They've spoken to Gabriel, and they will see, and the inquiry will go further. I don't know if they're going to give us any details until the incident or the whole situation is completed.
They shouldn't anyway. It shouldn't drip this. There should just be a decision, and we find out what happened. That's it.
And finally, the other thing they said is it is understood that Gabriel, who is relaxed by the matter, is complicit, and he heard something on the pitch which triggered him an angry confrontation with Jordan Henderson. So that is basically all we know at this moment in time. I'm not going to be name calling Henderson. I'm not going to even say that he's done anything until we have confirmation. But when it comes down to it, as football fans, we just don't like stuff like this. Stuff like this being even spoken about. It should just be done behind the scenes and sorted out. And once it's done, we maybe should find out if there's something actually happened. Because right now it's just making Jordan Henderson look bad, and Gabriel is just looking like a victim where we don't know what actually took place. I don't think there's anything else to be said. Do you guys disagree?
No.
Okay, so we move on from that, and finally, yeah, that's pretty much it. Honestly, there's a couple of rumors about transfers that could come in. There's a couple of rumors about players that we could potentially sign, but I don't think there's anything to go too far. Like I heard Corinthians center back Robert Reigns. I don't know anything about him. I'm pretty sure you guys probably don't either. 17-year-old Brazilian. And then, yeah, that's pretty much it. I haven't seen any other news. What else is there? Gabriel Martinelli's contract. We already know about that. Jesus, people just speaking about Jesus's form. Charlie Patino. What happened with Charlie Patino, by the way? Contract ends in 2023. What's going on with Charlie Patino?
They said they haven't opened up contract negotiations yet, but there's a basically we can trigger an option in his contract if we need to. But the issue is we haven't opened contract negotiations, and there are other clubs interested. So we'll see what happens with him.
Okay, and then so that's it for today. Obviously, Nicolas Pepe scored a brace. Auston Trusty did what he did. We already spoke about that earlier. That is impressive. The Lone Army are doing so well, and Gunnar Souls, you eloquently put it that our situation has changed a lot. Title chances, Egal? Nah, man. Let's just wait and see where we go from here. But shout out to everyone. Oh, Gakpo. You know what? I'll take Gakpo. Would you guys take him?
Phenomenal. Love him.
Yeah, he's decent, but like the thing is, we need to see what we have in January. It depends on when we go for him. That's the issue.
I think the form that he's on makes me want him, but do we want? He's an inside forward. He's going to be straight, same, not similar to Martinelli, but same profile almost, but not the same type exactly on how they play. But what do you guys?
He's very different. He's very. I don't want to say he's stiff because that's wrong, because he is a bit, but he's a different type of forward, and for me, it's more because he's very, very clinical. Like to me, like he's got that eye for goal, which is what we need, but he's also very versatile, very two-footed, and he's got a very good set piece on him. I do like what he has to bring, but my thing is I want to see what's available first before I jump on and just go and get Gakpo, because he's probably the best young-ish prospect. Him and like Sulemana are the two that I'm looking at the moment as like potentials that I'd like, but I'm also favoring more experience at the minute as well. So I have to wait and see what's fully available before jumping in.
Yeah, and we're gonna just end it off here. People talking about Danilo and Trossard. We can get into this once it's time.
Yeah, I really need to go, Egal, but thank you for having me on. I've got to do our show, but I'll see you soon. I'll see you soon. I'll see you soon. Thank you, guys. I'll see you soon, Connoisseurs. Later, boys.
Take care, bro. Take care.
Anyways, guys, we're wrapping up here. You guys have yourselves a wonderful day. I will be producing. Why did I say producing? I will be doing an upload for a live preview upload for the preview between Bold and Glimp and Arsenal. I don't think you guys want to sit through a whole live, so I'm going to do a small little preview for you guys for that, and I'll put that out tomorrow at 12 o'clock. And if there's any news, I'll break it out also. But you guys have yourselves a wonderful day. Gunner Souls, appreciate you coming on. Last man standing, and we're out of here. Where's this button, man? What's going on? Peace out, people in the chat. Honestly, do appreciate all the love and support you guys have been giving me lately. Peace.